Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Old Woman with the Knife. And this is a new action crime thriller from director Kyu Dong-min. And this film focuses on Hornclaw, played by Lee Hye-yeong, and she is an aging assassin with a knack for taking out society's worst. Encounters a young protégé eager to learn the trade. As they form an unlikely bond, the veteran killer discovers fresh purpose in her twilight years of violence and routine. And this film really works because of the action. When the action kicks in this film, it's well choreographed. It's well realized on screen. There's some dynamic and interesting choices with the camera. There's even just little things, so much of it's in-camera fighting. And there's a moment where she comes barreling through, knocks down a guy, and starts attacking another guy, but the camera holds onto the guy that's down on the ground, and he's coming to, and you can see out of the corner of the frame this battle going on, and how the fight loops back into this character. And it's just little choices like that make this more interesting and dynamic than just edit, or just hanging on. And there's something interesting to see from the action of this film. And at the center of it, you have this old assassin, young assassin, and when they finally come to blows, it's interesting, it's dynamic, it's intense. And there's weight to it because they develop this connection over the course of this 2-hour some odd movie. And that's really the core of this film. And Hornclaw is such an interesting character, and it's such a great performance. You can feel the years wearing down on her, but still has control of this physicality and is able to deliver a really impactful and poignant performance where we can empathize with her, and you can see where the struggle is, and you can still see where she's very sharp. And her conflict with this young assassin is engaging and interesting to the story. I think those are the biggest things that sell in the atmosphere of the film. I think Min does a great job of crafting this seedy underbelly kind of feel, and that really works for the film. And because this is just draped in this underworld of crime, I think this film is trying to really deepen these elements of character throughout these action sequences, and especially in the climax, there's a lot of cross-cutting back to flashbacks, and I think it's a bit overdone because then it just feels like it's stretching out these sequences, these conflicts, and I just feel like it's a bit too much in terms of trying to keep up and keep the pace and keep the flow of the story going. I also think that this film is just a little overbloated. There's a lot going on here in terms of this criminal underbelly, and really the core of it's this aging assassin, a young assassin, but there's so many other moving pieces here that you kind of get bogged down in the details of just what's going on. And when the film is more focused on this key conflict, it's much more interesting and engaging, and you can connect with it and stick with it. This film probably would have benefited from being leaner and a little bit meaner, just pulling things together. But at the end of the day, I think this is still really worthwhile because of the action, the atmosphere, some strong performances and direction. It might be a little too much narratively and trying a little too hard, trying to thread too many things together. But from an action standpoint, this really does deliver, and it's refreshing and cool to see this concept of this aging assassin. And Hye-yeong does a great job of bringing this character to life, and Hornclaw is definitely somebody that we could get behind and really appreciate seeing on screen. But those are my thoughts on The Old Woman with the Knife. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.